around the corner, got them shades on my eyes. It's a pretty little thing by my side that's flawless. Why you niggas still chasing roaches? Collecting all this money on the roads like I'm homeless. A nigga like me.
Welcome back. This is Nicardo Media House. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Whenever you're watching this video, I just want to say thanks for supporting the video. Same way, like, press the like button, subscribe and comment. You know, Thanks for all those comments is coming under the videos. People just giving their opinions and what they think. I really appreciate it. But yeah, you know, um. I'm gonna talk about 5 things that I learned about the Reggae Boyz team in the Group A. They played 3 games. They finished second in the zone on 7 points, and the U.S. team stopped the zone on 7 points. The U.S. team scored 13 goals and only conceded one. Jamaica team, they scored 10 goals and conceded two. So the U.S. advanced that +4 goal difference ahead of the Jamaica national team, so that's why they're on top. So both teams are waiting for both opposition in Group D, as the US is waiting for the runner-up in Group D, and the Reggae Boyz is waiting for the winner of Group D. Both teams waiting for Group D. Group D fixtures will finish today. Those 2 games played today at 6:30. You know, um, Cuba played Canada and Guadeloupe played Guatemala. So the group remained the same way. Jamaica will play Guadeloupe on Sunday, and the U.S. team will play Guatemala on Sunday. So both teams are waiting for the runners-up and the winner for Group D. But yeah, Group A come to an end, and I'm gonna talk about 5 things that I learned about the Reggae Boyz team in Group A. So the first one is playing in transition and playing against weaker team, keeping the ball. So the first game we played in transition, right, against the US team. We kind of sit deep, defenders and midfielders. They trying to pick the ball when the US team comes in into the defensive third. And then after that they trying to play a transition game by play the ball to both wingers, Bobby Reed, Damarai Gray, even central to Leon Bailey and Michael Antonio. But Damarai Gray was more on point doing that, as he was trying to go 1-on-1 all the time, taking on the opponent defenders, which was, I think, most of the time it was DeAndre Yedlin playing right back for the US team. You know, Antonio was trying to, he's trying to force things, trying to dribble through 2, 3 players in transition. Liam Bailey was picking the ball up in the number 10 position, trying to run at people. And Bobby Reed, was coming in, trying to create and, just trying to beat 1 or 2 players and trying to lay it off. But yeah, playing against weaker teams like St. Kitts and Trinidad, playing against weaker teams in the possession games, they're gonna back off. They're gonna give you all the time and space to build up and trying to just come out with the ball. But when you play stronger teams, you're not gonna have all the time on your end, especially when you play the Mexican team that press all the way up into your defensive third. So going into the knockout stages, I want to see the boys, they can play a little bit quicker, a little bit faster, move the ball faster around in the number 10 area to the wing, so we can get guys 1v1 as quick as possible, so players don't double team our wingers, because, going into the knockout stage, they're going to double team players like Gray, Leon and Bobby, so we just have to play more faster so we don't get caught up in situation like that. Yeah, and as you can see, especially in that St. Kitts game, when the front four, I call like the front four was, Leon, Antonio, Gray, Paris was on the other side of of the flank where Bobby really does play. You know, when we link up, you can see a little quick 1-2 touches between, you know, attacking players. You know, you can see how that build up was made up when Leon Bailey laid off that back heel assist to Joel, no, not Joel, to Jonathan Russell. You know, stuff like that. You know, you see a little bit quick movements up there. You know, we want to see that more. You know, when you play that type of way, you know, defender kind of panic. You know, they don't know how to come in and squeeze, or they need to back off and give you space. So yeah, you're gonna have luxury time when you play that type of way. All right, so the second one is, you know, I see a little bit of pressing. You know, I say like the trigger press. You know, I seen a little bit of that in the US game, but not a lot. You know, I only see it like a few times we trying to press. When I think after we scored that goal in the 14th minute, you know, we trying to squeeze the, you know, we trying to squeeze into the defensive third and trying to win the ball up forward, but it didn't really work out that well. But so in that Trinidad game, you know, we pressed them really high. The start of the game, we really pressed them. You know, I think one of those mistakes leading up to how we press all the way up, you know, forced them to make defensive error where I think Mikel Antonio won that ball and Leon Bailey made an assist in that Damarai Gray goal. You know, stuff like that. We want to press teams, even when we play um, tougher opponents. You know, we are really quick, we fast, we strong. So I don't see why we can't really press bigger teams. So when we do that, you know, you could lead to defensive errors. You know, no players in the world that played football really likes when the opponent press them 90 minutes. You know, it can really be bugged. You know, it can really be bothered and stuff like that. So yeah, we need to keep that pressing game going into the knockout stage. You know, yeah. So we even see Kevin Lambert, you know, leave the midfield area and went over to the right wing. You know, just by doing the pressing game, and that lead to an error where he picked the ball off the opponent. You know, and that one leads to a goal. You know, we press. I think I think it was a Trinidad. I don't remember Trinidad or St. Kitts game. You know, they had a throw in, and where we press all we push up all the players over on that side, and you know it forces into another error, and that leads to a goal. So yeah, the pressing game really will help us moving forward way better than sit back and trying to play the transition game. You know, as I said before, are fast. We are really fast. You know, we physically strong. You know, we can run. You know, we're very athletic. So I don't see why we can't really play the pressing game against better, tougher teams. The third one is in transition on turnover. So on that we are really good. You know, whenever the opponent turn over the ball and stuff like that, you know, we always move it out really quick. I think in that Trinidad game where they played the ball and Damien Lowe, you know, he stepped up from that defensive area and he won that ball from off the Trinidad attacker, and that's how I think Damarai Gray scored the second goal in that Trinidad game. That's how the attack start, and you know, yeah. So playing that in transition counter attacking game, going into that group, going to the knockout stage. You know, we really doing good on turnovers. You know, we making teams really paid. We scored a lot of goals on teams turn over the ball to us in the group stage. So yeah, so that's really good. But Damarai Gray going to be that really X factor going into the knockout stages. You know, it's just the way how he move the ball. You know, he shifted on both feet. He cut in. You know, he go down the wing. You know, he's just trying to take on defenders 1v1. You know, he's trying to cut in, especially giving that ball into the box. You know, he's really good at that. You know, he's the only one that really getting crosses into the box. So yeah, that's really good. And you know, so number 4, we have issues finishing. You know, the likes of Shamar Nicholson coming off the bench. You know, Mikel Antonio, he got a few, you know, a little half chances. You know, Leon Bailey getting chances. That penalty save from Matt Turner. You know, he got a few clear goals. You know, in I think it was in the Trinidad game, you know. But we need to sharpen our tools on missing some of those clear-cut chances, especially Shamar Nicholson. You know, these guys, we can't afford to be missing chances like this going into the knockout round. You know, we can pay because we're gonna meet tougher teams that not gonna give us that much clear cut chances like our Trinidad and St. Kitts gave us in those two games. But I mean, Mikel Antonio is really playing excellent football. Like stuff that he's doing is it's not going to pop up on the stats charts. But I just want to say one thing about Mikel Antonio, where I think he's drifting a little bit wide. I don't know if you guys see. He's popping up on that left side. I need Mikel to be like direct center in line with the penalty spot. In line in the middle of the goal. So whenever ball is coming from both flanks, he's always there. I think he missed a chance. I think it was that ball came across from the left hand side. I think it was from Leon Bailey. You know, he was a little late because he was coming from that left side because he linked up playing from that left side and he was trying to come into the box. So if he was running from the center of the pitch, he'd have more than catch that goal. He'd have sliding and get his first goal of the tournament. But kudos to Mikel Antonio. He's really playing really good football. He's linking up play with with the wing guys. Leon Bailey. Collecting the ball from the midfield area and trying to drive the team forward. Number 5. So this is kind of an issue. You know, both wing backs. Both wing backs, whenever it's Bell played left back or Taxi, Kemal Lawrence or um, what's his name, Javier Brown or Dexter Lambisca, we not doing enough overlapping to create space for our wingers because Bobby Reed is on the right, Damarai Gray is on the left, and Leon Bailey is floating around in that little area, in those little pockets where the ball is coming, in those little channels. And Mikel Antonio sometimes comes deep and moving into those channels, running between the left centre back and the left back, and the right centre back and the right back. Mikel Antonio is running those channels. He's not direct running between both centre backs. So wing backs, we having really issues with guys really overlap. Dexter is not. He's more like a stay-home wing back. Amari Bell will go forward. Kemal Lawrence is going forward. I don't know, man. Kemal Lawrence seems like he's done. He don't seem like that Kemal Lawrence that have that burst, extra energy. Going up and down. That's why he got the name. Taxi, cause he's someone that run up and down. That energy, give you good square and good crosses into the box. But we need the fullbacks to be pushing them, need to be overlapping at least, 5, 8 times, between 5 and 8 times, be overlapping, creating space for wingers, especially that left back is really key. I think the coach more trusts Amari Bell, and moving forward, Amari Bell gonna have to be doing a lot of overlapping so he can create that space for Damarai Gray. So when defenders coming at him, they don't know if he's going to lay off the ball outside to the wing back or he's going to cut in. So whenever a fullback is overlapping, it gives the wingers more chances, more options. Leon Bailey can come short for a 1-2 with Damarai Gray, and we have that fullback. You can give him the ball. He can easily make a cross into the box. Mikel Antonio will be there. So, stuff like that. Even like for Dexter, Bobby Reed is not really someone that want to play on the wing. He played right back at Fulham and stuff like that. But, he always want to cut in because he's a number 10. That's his position, So I want to see Dexter go forward a little bit more and at least give us some crosses into the box. Our fullback's not giving us enough enough crosses that's really accurate, so Mikel Antonio can strive. That's how you play. That's how you want to fight for ball into the box. So that's the 5 things. I just want to talk about the Reggae Boyz into the group in Group A. Yeah. So yeah. Thanks for watching. This is the Nicardo Media House. Gold Cup matches later. We're gonna find out who the Reggae Boyz gonna play. Is it Guadeloupe, you know, Guatemala or Canada? We're gonna find out later. So yeah. Thanks for watching. This is the Carter Media House. Peace out. Ciao.